You can run.
If you boil the egg, you can run.
You cannot run very fast. Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. My name is Ibrahim Balde. I mean, the usual face that you see on your morning program, you know. And of course, we also have Mr. Mamadou Mbodj. He's a usual, guest here. Sometimes he co-hosts or hosts, or sometimes newspaper. Mr. Ali Drame.
Good morning.
Yes.
You resemble a guy that I know, a guy called Ibrahim Sori Balde.
Yes. Ibrahim Sori Balde is my brother.
That's your brother.
But they killed him since last year.
Oh dear, I thought you were identical.
They killed Ibrahim Sori since last year. Now, it's only Ibrahim Balde that's here.
When you say they, who are
Who's
they?
they?
They
Who
know
are these
themselves.
mysterious people?
They know themselves. Yeah, so it's good to be back. This is QTV this morning. We are broadcasting from the Gambia, West Africa, the small West African nation, as always mentioned by the BBC presenter, the small West African nation, the Gambia. Yes.
Remind those people.
We are small, but we can do a lot of things, and we are doing a lot of things. I mean, you know. So, Mr. Mbodj, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
How have you been? How was your yesterday? You keep laughing if I put that question that way.
That. They didn't change much one day from the next. People of our age, really.
You don't have a lot to do. Do you want to tell me your activities are boring?
Yeah, he's not saying that.
Here, when we come here, preparing for drive time, it's a whole day's job. Calling this person, calling that, inviting them, they ignore you. Sometimes
people cancelling at the last minute.
cancelling at the last minute. Sometimes you go until 4 o'clock, you don't have stories. Then you have to cobble up something. You have to make up something. So it's stressful. That's really what it is.
Stressful. You know. Mr. Adedrame, he said it's stressful. And, you know, but things have to keep going. They cannot be stagnant.
And that's the point. I mean, when people watch the news or they listen to a program like Drive Time, what they hear is the finished product. They don't know or sometimes appreciate, unless they've been in those shoes, they don't appreciate the work that goes into making sure the news comes, making sure it's a full set of news, making sure the stories are good, and in case of Drive Time, making sure the program is interesting and grips the listener. A lot of work goes into that. And as Mr. Mbodj says, and something that I've certainly found since I came here, at the last minute, people will pull out. And people who you said, I'm going to call you at 4:30. You call them at 4:29, they're not picking up.
A nightmare scenario.
And what do? You always have to have a plan B. You can't just say, oh, my guest isn't here, so let's stop the program.
Yeah.
The program has to go on, so you have to think on your feet.
Programs cannot stop because
No.
the guest didn't turn up. I mean, if you don't come, there should be always another plan.
There should be plan B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to monologue one of the stories the other day.
Yeah, quite. I remember you told me.
Yeah. I've listened to you and Mbodj yesterday on radio. You know.
I was talking about Jomai Faye's
That
new
was
party.
Senegal thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jomai's first party and Momodu Gajaga when he was also linked to talk about the
Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, but I am surprised to know most of our athletes didn't qualify. I mean, only Gina Bass is carrying the heavy burden of a country.
That's for the 100 meters.
Yes.
100 meters.
Yeah.
So she is appearing in the semi-final of the women's 100 meters. She qualified in a decent time, and she looked well within her sort of, comfort zone in terms of running. So we hope she does well. And it's early this morning. In fact, they might have run already. I'm not even sure. Gajaga will tell us when we link up with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the image there. I mean, you see, I mean, Gina is still flying Gambia's name to the climax.
Well, very much so.
Yeah.
And as you can see from the picture there,
She came out second or first?
she was second in her heat,
Second.
in the heat.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't particularly want to come first. You just want to qualify.
Okay.
And she knew that the first two would qualify, so she did just enough to qualify, and she was kind of comfortably qualified. So it was fine. It was a good run.
I was a bit doubtful that, okay, Gina, it's now a mother. I hope that's not going to change that energy that she had. I mean, sometimes these things can take a toll.
It's interesting you say that, because there's an article on the BBC about another lady who's taking part in the games, and she's also a mother. And she was wondering, but she's already coming back, and she's already running as fast as she did before she was a mother. And so she said, she's glad. But there are several others who, several of the Jamaicans, some of them have 2 and 3 children.
Exactly.
And they were still hitting the heights of running at their best. So these days now, with the way people train and the whole kind of psychology of getting back into fitness and into, it's no longer an issue. No.
Yeah. No. All right, so we wish Team Gambia a very successful, outcome.
We do, and just quickly, on Sunday, they had what they called, the day was declared Gambia Day. And so you had the Gambian athletes met the High Commissioner, they met the Minister of Youth and Sports, other politicians from the Gambia who were there, and members of the Gambian community. So it was really nice vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So on the program, we have the African quote, and of course, we will be doing the newspaper review, and Usman Silla, reappointed as Sasanet Senior Secondary School General for another 3 years. What's that?
No,
that is
Sasanet Secretary General.
Oh, Secretary General. Okay.
That's right.
I got it now. Honorable, that's Honorable Usman Silla.
Yes. Do we still call people honorable when they're no longer?
I think in Gambia we attach the honorable
even when they
forever. Yes.
Yes, like one of them told me, once you're an ambassador, always an ambassador. They have to be addressed as ambassador.
Professor, you are professor.
Yeah.
Yes. Mandate of the Association of Gambia Psychologists. We will be talking to Professor Lamin Sidibe and of course Babukar Samate. Yeah, we have Babukar and Bubakar, but they are all the same Buba.
They come from the same root.
Yes.
But the Association of Gambian Psychologists will be telling us what they're all about, what their mandate is, and I think it's one that I'm definitely looking forward to listening to.
Psychology.
Yeah.
You studied psychology. Are you a psychologist? Okay, so we keep hearing that. I'd like to know a lot about that.
Good, yeah.
A person who carries an egg does not run. But that's singular. One egg. I can carry an egg and run. But it depends on how you carry the egg.
Don't be literal-minded.
No, you have to be literal-minded sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
What do you?
But there's another one.
So take the literal definition there. You can carry an egg and run. Yes.
Yeah, it depends on your situation.
Yes.
If the situation calls for you to run, you have to run.
Yes.
Of course. To save other things. But it's not very stressful. Maybe if it was plural, I would have, okay, fine, there are a lot of things that I have to be careful of. But an egg, I can carry it and run. Depends on how you carry the egg. Mr. Mboj, can you comment, please?
I think Mboj is dying to come in.
There's the other one. The person who carries the egg basket does not dance.
Or does not start a fight.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do you think?
It's obvious. The egg is fragile. Here we have to go for the metaphorical stuff.
Yeah.
Fragile stuff, precious stuff, sensitive stuff. One has to be careful how you deal with that. Don't rush into things. Maybe mindful actions, stuff like that. I think that's really what this is telling us. To think about things and what I stand to lose, what's at stake.
Well, indeed.
That's it. When I take a certain course of action, what is at stake?
Yes, I think along similar lines, if you have something or you are entrusted with something that is fragile, look after it. You might say, yes, I can run, if you were going to be literal-minded, but then accidents could happen. Somebody could trip you up, you could trip yourself, you could fall. But if you are entrusted with something. It could be not even a literal thing. It could be a secret. It could be sensitive information. Be careful and make sure that you guard that information and guard it wisely. So yes, one can extrapolate into all
Yeah.
sorts of
It reminds me when the lady carried
metaphorical.
a bowl of stew, Domada peanut butter stew. You know, she was rushing to get a car, and she carried it on her head. Unfortunately,
no.
and, you know, poured everything. She should have been very, very careful.
Yeah.
It's telling you there are other situations you need to take your time before you get into it. You need to think before you act, you know, because some things might look very easy, but when you get in there, it can cause problems for a generation.
I attended a pre-wedding event here in the Gambia last year, and when I saw the invitation, I thought, these youngsters, they want to combine tradition, but they don't know tradition. So it said on the invitation, an all-white awujo. Now, an awujo, the word comes from the Yoruba. It's a feast where everything cooked is cooked with palm oil.
Oh, okay.
You don't combine all white and awujo. And as if to ram home the point, and this is a true story, a friend of mine was sitting, we were chatting, and I was behind her, and somebody was passing with their beans and just spilled it all down her back on her white
On her white.
dress. I mean, it just rammed home the point that you don't do all white and awujo.
Yeah, they didn't carry the egg well.
You know, these, people like to do all red, all this, all
Yes,
that.
yes.
It's fine, but don't do all white and awujo.
All white and aujo doesn't
They
go
do
together.
not go together.
Yes,
you know.
absolutely.
So that's about,
Absolutely.
being sensible about the situation you find yourself in,
Yes.
and careful about things, the egg or the secret or the whatever, even a child that is entrusted
Yeah.
to you.
Mr. Ade, you mentioned
Okay.
the Yoruba tribe.
Yes.
And, Yoruba is one of the the famous tribe in Nigeria.
Of course,
I was in the
Western
same
Nigeria.
yes.
Yeah.
I was in the same class with a guy called Abib Tubi Obiloba, something like that.
Okay.
He's Yoruba.
Yoruba.
You know, and when you talk to most of these people, they tell you I'm Yoruba.
Yeah.
So is Yoruba the biggest tribe in Nigeria?
No way. No way.
Probably Hausa.
Hausa, yeah.
Hausa.
Yep.
Hausa.
Up north.
And it's always, I'm smiling because it's a kind of point of contention. They've always said that in Nigeria they're actually scared to reveal the true figures of the Yoruba and the Hausa. They've always been at loggerheads. Then you have the Igbos as well.
Okay.
But the two biggest are the Hausa and
So
Yoruba.
when you say Yoruba, it's
Yeah.
like when you say the Jolas and the Mandinkas.
Yes, I mean, they're one of the biggest.
It's a tribe.
And it's a tribe, of course, yes. And you find them also in Benin.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. Because I mean, these borders were imposed by colonial people. So you find these people in just like
okay.
you find
It's just
Fulas.
like
Fulas
in
everywhere.
Senegambia.
Yeah,
The same.
Yeah, it's the same.
You find
sort of
Wolofs everywhere.
Everywhere.
And,
That's right.
and so Yorubas, what people kind of respect them for is that I was sitting at home about 10 years ago watching a program about Puerto Rico. And they went to a village where everybody had Yoruba names and spoke Yoruba. I mean, I thought I knew a lot about the kind of Yoruba history. For example, if you go to Bahia in Brazil,
Okay.
you'd actually think you are in Lagos.
Oh, they have Yoruba.
Oh my God! People have Yoruba names. They look, they're not mixed like you find in a lot of Brazil. They're pure, West African. They still look in Bahia.
Nigerians are everywhere.
They're everywhere, and so they have carried that Yoruba culture with them. So I remember a friend of mine who's English was married to a Brazilian, and he took a video, and in the video I saw them frying something. I said, "Oh," I said, "What do they call that in Bahia in Brazil?" He said, "Oh, that's called akara." I said, "Oh,"
Akara.
I said, "It's the same." He said, "Of course it's the same. It's from the Yoruba." And so so I got him to do lots and lots of filming and take lots and lots of photographs and speak to lots and lots of people. And he was amazed. A lot of them spoke a kind of Yoruba that probably isn't spoken even in many parts of Nigeria now, where now it's like Wolof. Somebody can say, I'm speaking Wolof, and half of it is in English. That has happened a lot with Yoruba as well in Nigeria. Whilst what they were speaking in Bahia, in Brazil, was the raw thing that they probably spoke 300 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And famous Yoruba people, Wole Soyinka, Fela Kuti.
Yes.
Oh, Fela, the famous Fela. Yes. So we'll soon talk to Momodu Gajaga.
Oh, that would be nice. Yes. Find out how our people are doing in Glasgow.
Yes.
In Glasgow's inclement weather. They had rain during the sprints yesterday, which was not very good. I hope the rain is held off.
Yeah, so we have Momodu Gajaga on the line. He is currently in Glasgow.
The Gaj.
For the Commonwealth Games. I mean, Momodu Gajaga, good morning. Good morning, Gaj.
Mr. Gaj, speak to us. Don't keep malice, as we say in West Africa.
Good morning.
We can see you, we can't hear you.
Okay, I think we'll try to establish that connection. Okay, all right. We are not getting Momodu Gajaga. You know.
We will try.
Yes, he's also trying to fiddle with his
mic.
microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, but for now, let's continue our conversation. Yes, so it's Gajaga is back. Hello, Gaj.
And hopefully when we do establish connection with Mr. Gaj, he will have some good news for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, to lift our spirits regarding how...
hello, Momodu Gajaga.
Yes, Ibrahim Balde, it's a pleasure.
Well, it's good to have you on the program.
And he's wondering if you have a question for him.
Yeah, I think it's gone again.
Is it gone again? Mr. Gaj, can you hear us? You came and you teased us with a few seconds and then you've gone.
We wanted to hear what's really happening in Glasgow.
The Commonwealth Games, they used to be called the Empire Games back in the day. And of course it was to do with the British Empire.
Okay.
And even the Commonwealth they used to refer to as the British Commonwealth. The curious thing about it now is that at the time when people were saying the Commonwealth was dying, you had countries that had never been part of the Commonwealth joining. And so day before yesterday or 3 days ago when they were doing the march past of the countries, do you know which country came before the Gambia?
No, tell us.
Gabon.
Oh, Gabon.
Gabon had never been part of British, empire.
Our Gabon, our famous Gabon.
Famous Gabon.
Is
Gabon.
It, who was their president?
Bongos.
Bongo! Omar Bongo. Is it Omar Bongo? Yes. Yeah, so we have Gajaga on the line.
Yeah.
Yes, good morning, Gaj.
Good morning, Ibrahim Balde. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, so we are trying to establish the connection there so that we can talk to you because we want to know what exactly is happening. How far have the Gambian team go? I mean, what is the latest?
Thank you very much, Balde. The latest and the most exciting part of the Commonwealth Games, which is the athletics, the track event, took underway yesterday, and it was the Gambia's Gina Maria Mbas Bite who made the headlines. She made it to the semi-finals, which is later today in the evening at the Scotland Stadium, where we will witness the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters for a place in the finals. But the rest of the activities for the Gambia's sprinters didn't go down well as planned. Ibrahim Kamara failed to meet his personal best. Aliou Diouf also failed to meet his personal best and didn't make it to the semi-finals. They reacted after the race saying they're disappointed with the performances in terms of their timing, but they've given their best under those wet conditions. Aissatou Sy is one athlete, a rising athlete in the 100 meter sprints. As far as the women's 100 meters is concerned, she ran her first Commonwealth Games alongside Niman Sata Jaune. Great experience for them, but not quite the performance that they were expecting. But for the first time, or for the most of the time, when it comes to international competitions, it's exposure for you, it's a learning curve for you, and I think they've learned from this competition.
Yes.
And today, later at 7 p.m. is the semi-final for the women's 100 meters.
Yeah, so now all eyes are on Mariam Gina Bass Biteye, and you know, for her carrying that weight, I mean, everybody is watching her now. So what exactly, I mean, do you think it's the problem of our team? What should we improve on?
Well, for athletics, you could be training for a whole year, you could be training for years just for one event, and you come, that particular event becomes your best event, and you run your fastest race in that particular event. Or you come and then conditions don't favor you, you perform and then things didn't go your way, and eventually you don't get the timing that you're looking for. So it can always happen. You keep learning, you keep improving, you keep competing, so you could give your best time.
Yeah, Adi?
Yeah, Mr. Gaj, I agree with you. I watched the events on BBC and others, and I think it's fair to say that it wasn't just the Gambian athletes that didn't give their best. I don't think any athlete recorded a personal best, actually. I think the conditions were not ideal for sprinting. And I mean, do you think that had something to do with it, or in a major way? Because some of them fell way below their personal best, actually.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I thought it has an impact when it comes to the weather. It was wet. Yeah. In fact, on the tracks, whilst they're running, you could see their spikes, the shoes, kind of making a little bit of contact with the track, and a little bit of that wet condition. You could get it from the microphones. Yeah. That is the pitch side microphones that picked up every sensor, everything that happens there. So you could see that. Apart from Abdul Rashid of Ghana, who runs 10:01, I think is either he breaks his personal best or maybe a season best. I think he runs very fast in a read. But apart from that, yeah, most of the other runners either slower times, and some is the weather. Because I spoke to Isa to see after the race, her reaction was probably the weather had an effect on this. For the very first time, she's been exposed to such a weather. She's never run in a condition like this. Yes, they're in the summer in Glasgow, but at this moment, even for somebody like me, it's cold. You know, when I was at the stadium, I was on my jacket. I had some friends here who were teasing me that we're in the summer and then you're in your jacket. I said, yeah, but conditions are different. I came from the Gambia where it is extremely hot, and then came over here. For me, it's cold. Yeah, you could call it summer or whatever, but for me, it's cold.
Yeah, so Mr. Bush?
Yes, I wonder, in judo, Faye Alex Njai, the last time out in Birmingham, he got silver. That's our second medal, really, in these games. What prospects this time? Is he confident? I wonder whether you've spoken to him.
Faye is optimistic. Yeah. Yes, he's very confident and optimistic that this time he could go one step further to win the gold medal. The last time was silver, so if he wants to better that, obviously he has to win the gold medal. But like I said to you yesterday on the Drive Time show, these things are not written on paper. It's effort, determination, hard work, and pray that let it be your best day.
Yeah. So before we let Gajaga go, because we have papers to review, Gaj, what is the medal hope for Gambia? I mean, what medal do you think the Gambia is going to win?
You just mentioned one.
100 meter.
Maybe.
Well, we've just mentioned Faye Alex Njai, who won the silver 4 years ago. Although 4 years ago and now is different, but hopefully, fingers crossed for him. Maybe he will get the medal. For Gina Mariam Bass Biteye, later today in the semi-finals, we'll find out. It's a tough one. All the competitors that she is going to run against have very, very good timings, either their season best or personal best. So it's going to be a tough one for her to make it to the final, talk less of even winning a medal. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. There's also going to be the women's 4x100 meters relay, and also there will be the 200 meters as well. Probably the Gambia could maybe finish on the podium in those races.
All right, thank you very much, Gaj, for talking to us on QTV this morning. Gajaga is currently in Glasgow, attending the Commonwealth Games. Thank you, Gajaga.
Thanks, Gaj.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to
Yes.
talk to you.
So back to the studios here on Kairaba Avenue. We are broadcasting from the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa, and we are on QCell Avenue. Yeah, so
QCell and Kairaba.
And Kairaba Avenue, yes, put together. So let's take a look at the stories on the papers now. You know, labor force surveys funds 7,000
fines.
Yes, fines, huh?
Fines.
733,364 employed and 48,504 unemployed.
Yes. The labor force survey came out last week, and we've been doing a series of reports on it. We did one last night, which was about the number of children, over 100,000 children working. And so this is, it's good when they do these things, because people always say, oh, you know, there's not a lot of employment, unemployment is high. It is high. And a lot of people who are employed in agriculture, in farming, and also in small and medium-sized enterprises. So it's there. Whether it's well paid is another matter. Those are some of the things that also came up in the labor force survey. So it's good, and if people haven't, they can go on the website and they can check some of the facts and figures, and it's always good to have these to hand when people are making an argument or designing policy, really. You need facts rather than feelings. And so,
That's it. The number of people being employed up by a significant percentage, and the like.
That's right.
Unemployment down. So that sort of thing. Perhaps the striking statistic as well. 86% of those employed all in the informal sector. So that's got implications for what? Social protection. For
revenue collection, tax, you know,
that's it.
Lots and lots of things. Yes,
So that's a major.
And one of the other things, the one I mentioned, the story. One of the reasons we wanted to do the story was it shows the disparity in children working in the rural areas as opposed to the urban areas. So in somewhere like Canifing, I think it's 3.5% of the number. In Banjul, 3.8%. In areas you had in Janjanbureh, they were sort of 17, 20 areas, 30%. So quite high. Children who are not of working age really, and should not be working. But we all know what the sort of pull factors are.
Yeah.
You know, the parents say we need money, and we're going to send our child out to sell or whatever. They'll do it, regardless of you trying to convince them that no, if your child gets an education, they can get a better job and better paid job and bring more money. But they want it now, they need it now, and that's the thing that drives it. So it's a conundrum still, and one that I don't think we're any close to solving.
So, I mean, on the Point newspaper, the main headline, Barrow projects bigger win as opposition coalition falters.
It falters. We don't know if it's faltering because we had the discussion here yesterday about, you know, alliance, coalition, whatever, whether there is going to be one, and if so, or are there going to be more than one? Because on another paper, you hear they talk about GDC and NPP coalition, but he's talking about the coalition against him, and I think all the indications are that if there isn't a strong coalition, that he will have a huge win. So yes, I think that's what he's
so now
talking about.
Yes, this was quite interesting because this was our topic for Decision 2026.
Yeah, quite.
And it was quite fascinating that we had the administrative secretary of GDC. I think he was also in the coalition talks of the opposition. So when I read that, I said, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So whilst they were in the coalition talks with the opposition,
Yeah.
they were also in the coalition talks of some sort with the
NPN,
incumbent.
yeah.
I suppose you have to
Yeah.
spread it, don't you?
Yeah, yes.
Therefore, you just never know which one will be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be going back and forth.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember my panelists, my fellow panelists, Aliou Cissé and Ibrahima Dabo.
Yeah.
In the end, I said to them, I asked them the question, what prospects of a coalition? They said, yes, we can see a coalition, but without UDP.
Yeah, right.
So we're not surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
So far we're hearing that UDP, they've pulled out of this particular one.
Yeah.
And you've got the media advisory.
Well,
here.
well,
They're going to
speaking
have a meeting.
to the UDP rep yesterday, the guy we interviewed on TV, he said there was no formal letter from the UDP team.
So what Mr. Mboj is saying is that 11 o'clock today, the UDP leader is giving a press conference to address all these matters
Okay.
at their headquarters in Manjai. We will be there, of course. Most of the media will be there. And we will know from the horse's mouth what the situation is. People will listen and they'll be able to ask questions. Yes, what exactly is the situation? Is this a no-go area? I mentioned that there are possible red lines for both sides. For those who say it has to be candidate-led, that is their red line. For those who say it has to be party-led, that is their red line. So people can say, oh, we've compromised on this. Well, those are the big things you have not compromised on. And unless you do compromise on those, then it's not going to happen.
That's it.
So,
And they're just doing what's in their interest.
yeah, of course.
Those who say candidate-led,
Yeah.
that's really what's
It's-
in their
it's
interest.
in there.
Those who say party-led,
Yeah.
It's in
so
theirs.
it's all interest-driven. It's, it's political. So
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
expect?
Yeah, quite.
So let's take a look at 3 police officers dismissed for gross misconduct. I mean, this is an incident that happened at Old Yundum, where a Mauritanian man was recording a police officer threatening to kill him
Yeah.
because he asked for something and the man said it's not available. So according to the man, allegedly this guy had been doing this for a long time. So now he was sick and tired of it. He set his camera and was recording the man. And we were, on the video you can hear what the paramilitary officer was saying. And these are people that were stationed at Jar Oil petrol station
Yes.
to protect that place at night. So now the police have taken a step and they've dismissed 3 officers.
3, yes. It shows you that these days, these things can happen. Had the cameras not been there, it would have been his word against theirs. So as you said, the story that we've seen and heard and read says that he got sick and tired of this and he thought, you know what, let me set a trap. And the next time they come, I'll just hit record and record it. And of course, the evidence was persuasive enough for these 3 people to be dismissed from the force. Yeah.
So now the problem that we have here is the safety of the man at the top.
You think anybody, after 3 people have been
Absolutely.
dismissed, they're going to be stupid enough to tackle him? You think he's not going to record that as well?
Well, you never know what will happen.
Well, no, no.
You never
They'll
know.
be stupid to do anything to him.
A guy have been dismissed from the force,
Yeah.
and now because of the recordings of the Mauritanian guy, and this guy have been threatening the guy that I can even come and kill you.
Yeah. So what now? That guy wants to end up in jail? He should be happy he's only been dismissed and not sentenced to, given a prison sentence. So he doesn't want to incur a prison sentence by now going after the guy and saying, I'm going to take, because the guy and others might be ready and they might record that as well and he'll end up in jail. So no.
The secret is out.
It's,
He could get away with it before because nobody knew.
Nobody
about
knew.
it. Now everybody knows.
Yeah,
So
you attack the guy, you think people won't suspect that you were behind it.
doubtful whether he-
So no, I don't think that's sensible. You know.
Yeah, so the National Environment Agency receives 5.8 million surveillance items to boost community conservation. So how is our conservation? How is our, are we progressing in that area? Mr. Adedrame?
It's-
You are more, you are a person who loves these things. So.
Yeah. And
What is
I'm
your
smiling
perception?
because it's a difficult one. And so when they get resources and they kind of, we bring them up to capacity, it helps. Because a lot of people don't see, oh, I want to chop down this wood, I want to do this, I want to do that, because I want to make money from it. They don't see the bigger, the wider picture. Or I'm going to go and mine sand from this place because, you know, I'm doing some building somewhere. So the efforts, they really are strained, and it's up to us, the public. You know, but if they're just leaving it up to us to change our habits and our behavior, that's probably not likely to happen. So how good is the monitoring, how good is the enforcement? That is what will stop it and change it and reverse the trend. But it's a very difficult one. So the more resources they get, the better. You know, they can never, as far as I'm concerned, have enough or too much.
Yeah, I think our communities, we still need to maintain the greenery. We still need to maintain, environment at some point. When you look at other countries, the likes of China, the likes of Turkey, you can see their forest, they maintain it.
In some areas.
They don't cut down these trees. In fact, if they want to build a road, they will build the road and it will go through this forest.
Yeah, it's a challenge everywhere, because even in China, I have to say, there are places in China where, in the name of progress, whole villages have been flattened. You know, let's not make as if they're the kind of, you know, sort of paragons of virtue when
It's
it
the
comes to something
importance.
like that.
I'm talking about they know the importance
No,
of
well,
maintaining these
no,
things.
that's what I'm saying. In some areas, they haven't. You know, sad to say, it's the picture they like to give, but it's not the true one. It's not the only one. They've done things that are harmful to nature, but they're trying to make up now. They're now the world leaders when it comes to solar energy and solar power, to electric vehicles. You know, things that they are trying to do. They've now surged ahead because they've realized that they were a big contributor in some of their development work in harming the environment. So, you know, let's not forget that there's a history there. It's not all roses.
So we will do this final story.
Anywhere you go, really, environmentalists are complaining of one thing or another. In any society you go to, not least because of either human encroachments or new technology, new ideas have come, or commercial pressure. Let's turn this into a commercial entity. So there are all sorts of pressures and the like. So when we focus on our situation here, what do we talk about? The coastal erosion. What is it doing? We say that we rely on tourism so much, but the tourists who come there for sun, sea, sand, and the like. What's going on there? The deforestation. We also talk about what's going on there.
How much forest cover we've lost.
How much forest cover we've lost. And how
decades.
much that prevents us, like a shield in many ways, against floods in many ways. So what would be the consequence, the cost? So far we've been seeing, you know, having floods in recent years, so many different areas. So what would be the consequence, because of our action, what would be the consequence on us, really?
There is always a consequence, always.
That's
So on the last story on the Standard newspaper, man discharged from rape charge after 8 years of trial.
I had to read that headline twice. I couldn't believe that a trial.
He spent almost a part of his life in jail, you know.
Assuming he's been on remand. But a trial that lasted 8 years is quite extraordinary. I mean, that is quite extraordinary. I read the headline and I had to, as I said, I had to look at it twice. 8 years? But yeah, apparently.
8 years. So after, what will happen?
Yeah.
Are they going to?
We need
are
to
you going
know how,
recover?
why, how?
Yeah, quite.
How did it happen? Why?
Discharged from rape charge.
After 8 years.
Yeah.
Why did it
so
take
obviously
that
the
long?
trial. Why did the trial take 8
So
years?
we've come to the end of this segment. I wanted us to deal with one more story, but unfortunately we won't be able to.
Let's just
A
send our
Gambian family of 4 killed in car crash.
Is the
in
one I was
UK.
just going to say. We send
It is really a
condolences.
tragic,
Yeah.
incident, and our hearts and minds are with the families.
Sure.
A man died with his wife and child,
Jesus
and also another
Yeah.
another neighbor. So
Yeah.
you know, it's really a very difficult time for these families at the moment. But you know, sometimes life is not fair.
Yeah.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
Mhm. So viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, we'll be talking to Honorable Usman Silla as he's appointed as Sassanet Secretary General for another 3 years.
Reappointed.
Yes, we're reappointed. Yes, so we'll be back.
the Gambia and enjoy crystal clear calls and super fast internet at the cheapest tariff, only with QCell. Rush now and grab your free QCell SIM card today from any of our care centers near you. QCell, our biggest network with the cheapest tariff. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. In December 2026, Gambians head to the polls to choose a president, and history may hang in the balance. As the day draws near, every week, right up to Decision Day, QTV will lead the political conversation. And nobody breaks it down like QTV. Our team of experts will help you understand the results as QTV brings you Decision 2026. A weekly program dissecting the issues, driving the debate, and giving Gambians a front row seat to the hottest topics for the defining election of our time. Hear differing views, put forward and challenged, manifestos dissected and explained. Stay informed, stay engaged. Stay tuned to QTV for everything you need to know about this year's election. Decision 2026, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Only on QTV.
Q Money is changing the game with mobile money payment. Now, you can pay your QCell mobile broadband plan faster, easier, and way more convenient with your Q Money wallet. Just open the Q Money app or dial *323#. Select option 4 to buy or pay your broadband plan in seconds. No stress, no lines, no last-minute panic. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, browsing the web, or working from home, stay connected without missing a beat. Stay connected the easy way with QMoney's QCell mobile broadband payments anytime, anywhere. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Senior Carpet. Terms and conditions apply.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now,
You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Now let's head to the other segment of this program. Usman Silla, reappointed Sassanet Secretary General for another 3 years. Honorable, congratulations on your appointment, on your reappointment rather, for the next 3 years. You know, you are welcome on this program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balde. Thank you, Mr. Mboch. Thank you for having me on this morning show once again. I'm no stranger to this program.
Yes.
And thank you also for congratulating me for the task they have given me to continue serving the continent.
Yes. So what does this reappointment means to you personally?
Well, it means acknowledgement of what I have been doing, and also another responsibility, renewed responsibility. So it's not a matter for celebration as far as I'm concerned. They have renewed their trust, their confidence in the work I'm doing. So I must strive to live up to expectations. So the burden is on me. The onus is on me to discharge that responsibility, to satisfy the expectations. So it's not a matter of celebration, it's a matter to do more work. But I appreciate them recognizing me
Yes.
in what I've done. Yeah.
It's good that you appreciate that. I mean, but we'd like to know, before Mr. Mboy come in here, we'd like to know what conditions leads to your reappointment for the next 3 years.
You know, Sassanet is a boarding organization. It is just 3 years old. As you all know, it was established in 2023 in Abuja, where we did the formal launch. And that Abuja is the domicile of our secretariat, Continental Secretariat.
Okay.
And that since its establishment, within the short span, we are able to have representation in 43 African countries.
Oh wow, it's a large one.
Yes, indeed. And as you may also wish to know, you may wish to know that prior to the establishment, the 4-month period where I was identified as coordinator, and I was able to do a lot of consultation to get countries interested in this organization and coming on board. And after its formal launch, we were able to reach out to 43 countries, and we were able to have also 3 annual conferences and AGMs. Of course, it was not me alone, but I was very pivotal in ensuring that those events were held, and the successive activities that arise from those landmark events also had taken place. And I was the one doing the coordination. So they recognized this and appreciated the progress made, particularly during this short span. So they feel that, and it also coincided with a situation where our founding chairperson, I'm the founding secretary general, the founding chairperson, in fact it is the two of us who had made this organization become what it is. He bowed out after the end of his tenure. He's still part of the organization. So, but he did not seek for re-election. So for him, the position is election, the chairpersonship. But for the secretary general, it's an appointment. So they feel that given institutional memory and being the founding secretary general, it would not bode well for the organization for me to step down. Of course, I wanted to continue, but I did not express it. Just came before them, and then they decided that I continue.
You continue.
Yeah, this is how it has happened.
Yes, so now let's get into the details. I wonder what you would consider your biggest achievements and the accomplishments you're proud of in your first term.
Well, SASASNet, like I said, a 3-year-old organization being recognized by development partners. The ILO is our principal collaborating development partner, but we are recognized by the ILO at the highest level. So there is no event, no publication that is done by the ILO where SASASNet is not involved or is not cited. That's an achievement. UNIDO now also recognizes SASASNet. Well, by virtue of what we have been doing, the UNESCO, likewise, African Development Bank is now a partner, is on board. The African Union, I was also part of the drafters of the new Africa Continental Tibet Strategy, representing SASASNet. I was one of the drafters. So these are achievements, and you can see in the strategy document, SASASNet is cited there, and I was the one representing SASASNet. And the other thing also, SASASNet is the only continental organization that is promoting apprenticeship in the informal economy, that is promoting support for the informal economy. We do skills, that's in the formal sense of the word. The formal, skills is, you have two. You have the formal and informal. In fact, even non-formal, but likely informal. So it's the only organization in the continent that is promoting that. And it's by virtue of that unique position that we, occupying, that's also an achievement. That is why we are recognized by development partners. There is nothing that they are doing that they don't involve SASASNet. And of course, SASASNet is the interlocutor, the person who is the interface, and that's the Secretary General. So, and I have been attending. So in fact, I am now one of the 10. It's about 12 experts, considered experts by the ILO in terms of skills and apprenticeship globally. I am among that group.
That's it. So let's go on a bit further. That recognition from all these bodies, what tangible benefits have they brought SASASNet?
Well, it's trickling at the moment. It's not coming in abundance, the windfall that we should have followed. But you can understand the first phase is acceptance, that is recognizing you, accepting you as a partner. We have achieved that. The other aspect is that working with you and we are working with them. So now the tangible things that are coming as a windfall is that they've asked us to submit proposals. In fact, one of them is this recently concluded conference, which was partly funded by the African Development Bank. So they're coming on board. ILO has been supporting. In terms of skills, there is no partner for ILO other than, particularly informal skills than SASASNet. So we are a trusted partner, we are a reliable partner. So these are the things that we are benefiting from. They always invite me, representing the organization. So they help raise our profile. They help give us acknowledgement. If you will. So these are, I believe these are the tangible things that are flowing after this recognition and acknowledgement by the development partners, because we cannot operate without them. And also governments, member governments have recognized us. If you can see, most of our country focal persons are civil servants. The current president is the chairperson is the permanent secretary, Ministry of Labour and Skills of Kenya. Regulatory authorities in the member countries are also represented. In the case of Gambia, NACA is part of it. So that's recognition. We're working with ministries like MOHAS. So that's the recognition also is something that is tangible, because they recognize you, so they involve you. So these are the things that definitely we are really benefiting from.
That's it. And I would like to know your view on another point. You recognize apprenticeship, isn't it? But that's mainly, you said, in the informal economy. You were just talking about the labor force survey recently published, where it is indicated that 86% of those employed are all in the informal sector, and all the ramifications for such things as tax collection, social protection. Is there any collaboration in which you're trying to formalize this informal sector, or how do you see it?
Yes, thank you very much. In fact, I even wanted to mention it, but it's good that you've mentioned it. That I overheard you talking about this this new labor the survey on the labor force, and it's good that they've recognized that. In fact, this is the pattern in Africa. 80%. Gambia is 86%, yes. But the median is 80%. 80%, yes. 80% of the workforce is in the informal economy. But the paradox is that they are facing challenges. They are not recognized. They are undocumented. There is no certification. There is no support. And it can be a source of revenue generation for governments. But it's not regularized. And you need to support them to formalize. In fact, not formalize. For us, the balance we feel is most appropriate. The nomenclature is most appropriate, or the term that is more appropriate to apply is upgrading them, not formalizing them. They are informal. Upgrading them, of course, can have the formal ramifications, but we could just call it upgrading, because you cannot transform them. You cannot just make them be formal, like Crab Island, for instance. You cannot take a tailoring workshop to become like Crab Island. But training is taking place there. How do you ensure that the master trainer, the owner of the workshop, who is training those young people as apprentices, applies of course, he is applying he has the skills. Is transferring the skills, but how do you ensure that it is done in a systematic way, and that it is done at a time, because the student going to Crab Island, to the formal training institution, goes to, there's a period for 1 year you have certificate, but the person at the workshop stays there for 3-4 years, and it has gone past certificate level, but yet there's no recognition. So how do you ensure that that is introduced, so that within that short span, 1 year or even 2 years, he acquires a certificate indicating the level of acquisition of the skills. So these are the things that they need. And then you're talking about social inclusion. How do you help them, ensure that what the revenue they are earning, they're also making savings, they have access to funding, to loans, things like that. So this is what is absent. So, and this is what SASASNet is trying to come and fix in the sense of trying to address, of course, in conjunction with all the partners, government, non-state actors, and then development partners, because they're interested. But of course, first of all, is governments at the country level. The government needs to recognize this. In the Gambia, informal economy is yet to be recognized. in the sense that there is no apprenticeship policy. But I understand lately that they are working on the development of an apprenticeship policy. This is what is lacking in the Gambia. In few African countries, most countries are now, moving towards that. They are now adopting apprenticeship. They recognize the apprenticeship. When you talk about apprenticeship, it's the informal economy. So they're recognizing the informal economy because this is an indication that government should definitely recognize this workforce. 86%, they're not working for government. You have not created employment for them, and then yet they need your support. So you need that support needs to be forthcoming. So this is what organizations like SASANET is coming to do for government to force, like in the case of Gambia, ensure that this policy is formulated, is in place, and not only policy but laws that are coming to also strengthen the informal economy, ensure that the support that is due to them is given, and that once they are supported, they are upgraded, and you can even use your term in this formal. They are allowed to adapt to formal processes. Then the benefits will accrue. Yeah. And then once they're thriving in their enterprises, they automatically pay taxes. So government is chance to benefit. They create employment because that should have been the burden for government. Government's interest should be for people to be employed. You are not providing employment for them; they are providing employment for themselves. So support them, so that they will create employment for themselves and then also create employment for others. So you can support government. That's the conducive environment that we are calling for government to.
Thank you.
To bring about.
Thank you very much. We've exhausted this segment time already. Honorable for coming, and we wish you all the best of luck for steering the affairs of SASANET for the next 3 years.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Viewers will take a short break, and after the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now, the future of connectivity has arrived in the Gambia. QCell's QFiber, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed for the way you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Power your business with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. QCell's QFiber. Get connected today. Call 145 or 300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the QCell 5G Gaming Hub, powered by ultra-fast 5G connectivity from QCell, the fastest network in the Gambia. No lag, no limits, just pure performance. Multiple PlayStations, Xbox racing with full car wheel control, and immersive virtual reality experiences that put you inside the action. Play the biggest titles: FIFA, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Street Fighter 6, Forza, and many more. Experience gaming like never before. The QCell 5G Gaming Center is open weekdays from 12 p.m. and weekends from 11 a.m. Closed Tuesdays. For bookings and inquiries, call 381-0008. The QCell 5G Gaming Hub. Not just gaming. This is the ultimate gaming experience.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money, so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Bokal si network bu gëna rëy gëna yombale si réewi Gambia bi fii jëfandikool call bu set internet bu gaaw li yëpp si njëg bu yomba fii si QCell dawal léegi si suñ customer care bu la gëna jege ñu may la QCell line te doo si fay dara QCell network bu gëna rëy te it gëna yombale si réew mi fii QCell suñu bas ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa
naine dake network koto mi yalonko wole warta nyimbanko kan adung adabe soniaring wole nyama imuna fang telefono la mi yalonko abe seniaring adung internet wobe tariaring nyindung QCell dorne si nati aleno ibori yela QCell line ota customer care mi suti atima bi QCell network ko mi warta network ko beti adung adabe soniaring.
Welcome back. This is QTV This Morning, and I am Ibrahim Abalde. Now let's move on to the last segment of this program. We have the Association of Gambian Psychologists. The mandate we'll be discussing on this platform. And we have Professor Lamin Sidibe, advisor, the Association of Gambian Psychologists. And of course, we have Bubakar Samate, chairperson of the association. Gentlemen, welcome to QTV This Morning.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's good to have you here. Prof, we miss you. We miss you. Kachadula miss you.
Me too.
You've not been coming on Kachadula, and everybody is asking, where is Prof?
You never invited me.
You know, the other time, Sidi Cisse told me something. He said he took your wife from you, and that's why you've been running away all the time. You've been hiding. Is that true?
It's the contrary. It is the contrary.
Okay. All right. So we would like to know, what is this association all about, and why was it established? We'll allow the chairperson to delve into that.
Good morning, Mr. Balde, and good morning, Mr. Mboj. I am Babukar Samate, the president of the Association of Gambian Psychologists, which is called AGAP. AGAP is established in order to reduce and then also combat mental health illnesses and then also other forms of psychological challenges faced by individuals by providing expert interventions in order to combat depression, anxiety, and then other form of psychopathology actually.
Yeah, that's really interesting. He said a lot of things.
Yes, I wonder how many psychologists we have in this country.
Good question.
How many psychologists do you have in your association?
Actually, for the time being, we have 15 members currently, and the number is actually small, looking at the trend of mental health issues in the country, and then also the numbers don't lie. Actually, currently, in every one individual, 8 individuals are to be diagnosed with mental health condition, which is almost affecting 118,000 Gambians living with mental health condition. And then also within that number set, 90,000 individuals do not actually have access to proper mental health care, and then also probably don't actually know that they're living with mental health conditions actually though. Prof will actually delve on other important segments of the program though.
Inshallah.
Prof, the advisor of this association. What gaps? Why was it established? Lay for us the rationale,
exactly,
the reasoning, the reality behind this.
The historical perspective.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I miss all of you like books.
Yes, definitely.
But him, not very much. He's talking about Cisse, but he's an accomplished. I know. However, yes, I'm so happy to be here, and I've seen a lot of development. So I'm saying congratulations to my nephew Mohammed. A lot of development since I was here a couple of years ago.
Yes, exactly.
So bravo, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be back to QTV, although on a different platform. But this is my main, the core of my profession actually, that is psychology and mental health. Since I came back from the United Nations years ago now, I started, psychology was novel in the Gambia, practically. I remember you and I talked 4 years ago about it. It was very new. But now, I can gratify myself. I can proudly say that I've been able to train through UTG, IOU, International Online University, and even American University, a number of young people who are well motivated and interested, enthusiastic about psychology. Hence, this dividend. That is, they, with our little advice, were able, the young people, to establish or to form this institute. We've been talking about it a long time, but it materialized a couple of years ago, about a year ago. So
2018.
And Samate gave me no peace, just like you are, Ibrahim. He would call me and ask me. They used to come to my house for mentoring, even when I was having my tour, Tilibonko, you know. However, I appreciate that. So yes, I can maybe associate myself as one of the pioneers of psychology proper in this country. That does not mean that there has not been psychology in Africa. In fact, some people are claiming that psychoanalysis, even Freud's theory on conscious childhood conflicts, emerged in Africa. But you know, the colonial master distorted all our knowledge and ideas, and they took the credit, you know. So, but what my grandfather used to tell me, I can see it in this so-called modern psychology. So I say, hey, people have been thinking a long time ago. However, how it started, I know that time is always against.
Yes.
An association of this nature can contribute fundamentally to the development of this country. It can deal with the health burden and the economic burden. Some people will wonder why economic. Because when people are not mentally well, they are not productive. When they are mentally challenged, they are hardly productive. Some can be productive, but many young people now with drug-induced problems, you cannot call them productive. So they're actually a liability. That's a big burden. Unfortunately, the area has been marginalized and is still terribly marginalized. Somebody was telling me the budget is what? 0.5% of the health budget allocated to mental health. That's serious. I would call it criminal. Whereas the mental health, the magnitude of the mental health problem from 12% now risen to 13% of Gambians have some kind of mental health challenge. How many of these, he said it, about 90,000 have no access to mental health service. Okay, they go to traditional healers who also play a very important role, as we say in word of Kwamutiai, Nampamam. And they are doing a great job. And we are saying that we should collaborate further and see how we can standardize things on both sides and go this way because one of the fundamental problems in mental health and psychology. You were asking how many psychologists. To be a trained psychologist, not to mention clinical psychologist, takes years. Gambian clinical psychologists here at the moment, I don't know of any apart from me. But there are some young psychologists, you can call them psychologists, who have done BSc and now maybe masters. Yes, there are quite a few, as he said. So the problem is staff, shortage of resource, human resource, financial resource, all resources, all kinds of resources. And we are saying the bill which they are promoting also is saying, there's a bill now at the National Assembly which I hope will pass very soon, I hope. Because the problem is mounting and yet we are very slow in legislating. That's serious. There's a big rift in that. It's incongruent, if I may use that word. So it has a very important role to play, Brahma. Economic burden, health burden, because there is a very close parity between mental and physical health. How many people go to the hospital, complain about headache, munumanelo, and so on? No. When you check, it's all psychological stress, depression, anxiety. So unless you deal with the and WHO says that there is no health without mental health. So when the mental health is not there, you are not healthy. Even if you can be balagay, struggle, in wrestling. So the association can also professionalize and expand services, expanding services from urban areas to the provinces. It has been going on, community, but yet the human resource capacity, the capacity is the problem, and the trained. So we have a lot of work to do. Training, services, and resource mobilization. They are trying already by reaching out to raise funds to campaign. There was this workshop some time ago. I think the minister even opened it. I was there, where they investment something on mental health. That was very good. Mental health, the policy can also drive policy and legal reforms. Because right now, the legal instrument we have in mental health is criminal. It's called the Lunatic Act.
Lunatic Detention Act.
Lunatic Detention Act.
1917.
My God. When the Tubabs used to, those parents who were resistant actually, they had no mental, they were resistant. They called them mental. And they took them to Kampama and chained them and detained them. Look at what they call it, lunatic.
Lunatic.
Even that nomenclature itself is humiliating, let alone. So this has been going on, and I'm afraid it's still the current one, because this thing, the other one, the new mental health bill has not been. But the new mental health bill, we've been working on it since 2005, when we were a student. With Pasonko and others, we went to provinces, we did research, we talked to the traditional healers, and then we formulated something which has been improved, and now we have a bill. And I hope I'm appealing to because no one, we are all vulnerable. Even the president's child can be vulnerable. The minister's child can be vulnerable. My child can be vulnerable to some sort of mental health or mental health challenges.
Yes.
So this is a serious matter. And as I emphasized earlier on, without mental health, there is no health. WHO has said, and it's a fact. If you are physically fit, but you are not happy, your mood is down, you are not healthy.
You are not healthy.
Because you cannot be very functional. So that's the final point I want to say is that it can also combat stigma. The association can be very instrumental in combating stigma, because the stigma is too much. Where somebody has even if somebody has been confused for a while and diagnosed as mental problem or something, and he recovers or she recovers, when they quarrel at the standpipe or market, the other lady says, "Ki nga hamne dafa dofon." You see that stigma. Or
dof duwir.
Dof duwir. Kulo ko wax. Dof dafa wër ken. So another thing is that they are marginalized, they are oppressed, they are discriminated, stereotyped, and unfortunately, if you accept that you are that, what we call self-fulfilling prophecy in psychology. That is, you accept what people are saying about you, so you behave that way. You say, wow, exactly. Because I've heard people say, okay, so you see, so this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, triggered by stigma. Pointing fingers, refusing them residence, refusing them jobs. But you can be schizophrenic and yet be functional. People don't know that. I know some big people, not to mention, this is confidential here, who have serious problems, very serious problems. But they are still functional. But they are still directors and so on. And when their staff complain sometimes and come to me, I tell them why they are behaving.
They're schizophrenic, wow.
Schizophrenic.
But this is it though. What is psychology? You see, we've been...
What is psychology? Psychology is...
How does it
call
work?
it the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. The study of behavior, how we behave. And this can include attitude, behavior, and habits. Your disposition towards, what would I say, negative disposition. It can be positive or negative. You can have a negative disposition towards, I'm sure it's not football. Yeah, you don't have negative disposition towards football. Not Mr. Ade. But you can have a negative disposition towards what?
Anything, really.
I hope not traffic.
Let's say even traffic.
It's a big problem here.
Absolutely.
Taxi drivers, for example. And then because you have a negative disposition against taxi drivers, you may generalize or stereotype and think that all taxi drivers are crooks.
Are the same.
Yes. And your behavior becomes negative. And if you form that as a habit, you continually forever, unless you are treated or you reverse your thinking or your disposition. So that is one problem. Behavior, attitude, behavior are important elements in psychology. But psychology is simply the scientific study of behavior, how we action, and how we think. That's what we call mental processes. Before it used to be mental processes only, but now we are saying no. It's not only the cognition, the behavior also matters.
It
just
also
to encompass, to capture. So that is psychology.
And you have various specialized fields.
You have specialized fields in psychology, namely, you have educational psychology about learning and teaching and stuff. You have clinical psychology, which is the largest part, treating mental disorders or mental health challenges. You have social psychology, talking about society, family, marriage, divorce, all this stuff. Social psychology you also have even environmental psychology now, how the environment affects people's behavior and vice versa. You have sports psychology to go further. You have industrial
psychology, and then also counseling psychology.
And organizational psychology. Yeah, you have counseling psychology, yes, it's linked to clinical. But that's a very good point he raised. Counseling is usually mainly the simpler one, advice, guide. But when you hear clinical or therapy, psychotherapy, that's when you treat, you cure. When somebody is depressed and becomes suicidal, for example, that's critical.
So what is the first stage of helping someone with depression?
Depression, case by case. First, if the person is suicidal, case by case, depending on the severity of the depression. But if somebody is so depressed that the person is suicidal, not long ago I was called by one patient who said she's so depressed because something happened that she was even thinking of leaving this world. What I did was simply, I said, no. I said, I know that you are very angry and I understand that you are very angry. But please come over, or let me come over, let's talk. Then we go, but don't think about anything else until I come. So I went there, we talked, and by the time I left, we were all screaming and tapping each other on the back. But if that person had not called or had somebody to support emotionally at that time, can easily go into that. So first you calm the person down. You calm the person down, and if it is a very severe one, the first approach is to calm the person down. Hopefully you would have had a good rapport with the person. And if not necessary, do milieu-therapy, you change the environment. Look, it seems I'm doing all the talking, and I don't want to,
He will come next. I was just waiting for you to
please, full stop.
That's it. So
I thought I have retired, but not retired.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Yes. So now that we framed, as it were, our topic, what are your priorities? Given the state of things, state of circumstances, what are your priorities as an association?
As Professor rightly mentioned, mental health have been stigmatized nationwide and then also globally. Is first of all to change the narrative and then engage on a nationwide campaign with regards to mental health, to change the high level of cognitive dissonance within individuals and then also their perception towards mental health, and then also engage stakeholders with regards to funding and then also supporting mental health policies. These are very important issues. Professor have rightly mentioned that no one is actually immune to mental health. No one is immune to any form of mental health condition, because even our kids at home, they start certain behavioral pattern which actually affects their mental well-being at that stage. So their continuing concentration gets to affect their dopamine reaction. And then as it progresses at that very early stage of probably 3 years old, gets to affect their brain functioning and then their operation. So come on, at that very early stage is alarming and is rising up with the actual current rate of children being addicted to screen. We call it screen addiction or actually internet addiction. Also another form of addiction, which is also far dangerous than taking drugs too. Because the continuing concentration and then also the continuing activation of your dopamine gets to strength to that level that sometimes it gets to cause certain heart conditions and then also other physical conditions which actually affects the individual's emotion. It affects their behavior, it affects their perception, it affects how they actually interact and then also probably even respond to situations. Sometimes parents get to respond, ki dafa yabate, akulubaliatale, all sort of statements will be given. But the individual is suffering and then the individual needs an expert consultation to process all those thoughts, all those emotions, all those perceptions in order to be okay. If left untreated, it could move to a severe stage. And then if it moves to a severe stage...
Wait, you mentioned two concepts. We need to explain dopamine, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah. Actually, your dopamine, individual...
Biopsychological terminology.
Exactly. Individual dopamine reaction happens when a substance or an activity have been engaged by an individual. Now, if it engages, your dopamine reaction is within your brain. Now, how does it actually react? The substance or the activity you engage in gets to cause what we call impulsive behavior. Once that is activated, it becomes a continuing behavior. And then if it becomes a continuing behavior, it gets to affect every aspect of your life.
For example, not to cut you, continuing behavior like substance abuse, impulsive. Okay,
exactly.
Dopamine is a hormone.
Yeah, it's actually a hormone. Once activated, probably you're going to feel calm and then your mood will change. But if you do not actually, engage in that activity or you do not actually take that substance, then that substance gets to control your life. And then we call it in Mandinka, Kela Nidia Kelendi or Ngadi, Ke Nidia Kelendi, and it becomes a very serious condition. It requires treatment.
It requires
exactly. So it requires a lot of work and it's not easy. And I encourage every parent, every individual, every brother and then every sister out there to support their individual. Not every abnormal behavior or any abnormal emotional response you see is of course kulubalia. It's not rudeness, it's not something extraordinary. The individual probably
I don't want
needs
to
you
cut
to
him,
talk.
but I have to just chip in here a little bit, as you said, just to support him. Sometimes, I'm a teacher also, by the way. A child can come to the class and disturb, throwing stones, and you may condemn that child and say he's delinquent or conduct disorder forever. Grade 1, Halebi, next time, Halebi. When the child had maybe he saw the father battering the mother in the night or he didn't have breakfast. So we have to, training is very important too. I hope that's one of your priorities. To train even parents to detect deviant behaviors, which may be mentally related. That's, I think, one of your priorities. So that's what he's saying, that you have to observe your children. Don't just condemn them. And if they need help, if you don't know, go and seek for expert support.
Okay. So we've exhausted this time already, and now we will, we've come to the end of the program. So thank you, Thank you, Prof. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Boubacar, for coming on the program. I know this will not be the last. We'll invite you again so that we can have at least a bigger idea, So it will be important. So Mr. Mboj, this is all we have for today.
Yes, cheers. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. So viewers, this is all we have. Thank you very much for following this program. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.